Marvel Rivals is one of the most popular games on Steam, Epic Games, on most consoles right now, honestly, and I can see why it's popular. I've played it. I'm in Plat right now. I'm actually hard stuck, and it's one of the problems with the game, the rank system, but we're not here to talk about that. What I am here to talk about is the characters in the game, because, you know, why not? Some of them are broken, some of them are shit, and there's some that's just pretty okay, I guess. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm making a tier list, because why not? I'm gonna name it Rob's Tier List. TM. Trademark? Yeah, that trademark, that's what that means. Anyways, first character. Hela is honestly one of the most stupidest characters in the game. Well, actually, let me not say stupidest character, because you have the aim for like a fucking potato. Then you won't really be able to utilize her that well, and her kit is really revolved around aim. Even one of her things are actually no, two of her things are projectiles. Actually no, technically her ult is a projectile too, so 3 things are projectiles, but her ult is like really easy to hit because they have like a wide explosion range. But let's start with her right click. Hela's right click fires off, I think, 6, 4, 6, I don't really remember the fucking number of how many of the things it fires off, but it fires like a number of spikes off, and then eventually they explode, and if they hit you, then they explode in you, and that does damage. Pause. Now, am I a Hela main? Hell no, no I'm not. I'm actually a Bucky main. I love Bucky.
This right here is my favorite thing ever.
Anyways, back to Hela. The next ability I want to talk about is her primary fire, which is just spikes. She just throws fucking forks at you, and if they hit you in the head, then it's going to take half your health because, you know, that's fair and balanced. Obviously, it's not going to take half your health for most characters like tanks and shit like that, like Wolverine, but it'll do a good chunk of your health, and if they can consistently hit headshots, then they're either using aimbot or they're just aim labs warriors. Alright, next let's talk about her E. That fucking stun on that shit is like really annoying, but to be fair, it's kind of worth it because from what I've played of Hela, it's kind of hard to aim. It's like a really weird projectile that has like a really like short throw range, so you have to like aim it really well, and it stuns you for I think a second. I don't really remember, but it stuns you long enough for them to line up a headshot if they main Hela to kill you, so you know, yeah, can't really complain. Anyways, last, her ultimate. Her ultimate is like really easy to use wrong because it flies up and it gives you a wide attack range because you know you kind of have bombs. Alexa, shut the fuck up. Anyways, yeah, you fire off bombs and shit, so yeah, pretty much demon lady go boom. We'll put her in like, I don't know, I want to put her in like A tier, but if you're a bad character, she can, I mean, if you're a bad character, but if you have bad aim, then she could easily be an F tier pick. So she's not a throw pick because she's easy to use. Not really easy to use, but you know what I'm trying to say, dude. Fuck it, I'll put her in like A tier. Anyways, moving on. Next we have Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Now, I'm not saying all Wolverine players out there are absolutely skillless and should definitely pick another character to main, because when I play tank I get melted every 2 seconds. But I'm also not going to say he's the easiest character to pick up in main, because I've tried to main him for a while and his shifts are like really hard to hit unless you're trying to hit a tank. Which is your job, you should be trying to hit a tank, but I don't know, I like to scare the supports sometimes. Well, until I either get frozen or slept and then molested, but you know, we're not talking about that. Anyways, if played correctly, Wolverine is actually possibly one of the best DPS characters in the game, because you could just really snatch up any fucking player you want, take them to the side of the map, and just give it to them relentlessly with no fucking pause, no pineapple, no safe word, nothing. And the best thing about his kit is, even if the entire team is trying to get you off of their tank to save him, you can just keep going because the game just decides, fuck it, we'll give him more health, why not? But you're not in. You will still take a lot of damage if the entire team is mag dumping you, and you will eventually die, especially if you're facing like a Moon Knight or a Bucky or something. Or honestly, some tanks do and could kill you, like Magneto. He has a shield, which I don't know if the shield stops his shift. I've never tried that actually in game. When y'all go test it out, see if it works. I don't fucking know, have fun. But I do know he can still kidnap you if you put your strange shield up and take you into his backline and just give you back shots until you pass out. Anyways, on to his right click. It's literally just a slash dash. It's not really much. It does decent damage. It comes back every 5 seconds, I think, and yeah. Sometimes it's a really good finisher. I don't really know. I don't play Wolverine that much. Anyways, on to the most terrifying part of this man's kit. This nigga's ult. If he hits you with that ult, it's over. Unless you have a support ult on you. And even sometimes, even if you have a support ult on you, it'll still kill you. It'll take half of a tank's health. And may God rest your soul if you're a support main, because Jesus Christ, the things this man can do to you. The things I've seen in Plat. The horrors. Oh yeah, also, he has a passive where, like, if he slashes you a lot, he'll do more damage because, you know, why not, I guess. Anyways, if I were to rank him, I'd put him in, like, high A tier? Not S tier, definitely not S tier. I'll put him in A tier. Anyway, since I talk about my main so much, let's talk about Mr. Repetitive.
Holding that beam, let's go. She low self-esteem, she low. She talk about mine, you get drunk. This is be selling these lessons. She trying to tell me the sense. I'm trying to help the
James Bucky Barnes. Fun fact, Bucky's first name is James if you don't watch the MCU movies. And if you do watch the MCU movies, yes, I know his middle name isn't fucking Buckathan, but just fucking go with it, dude. Anyways, possibly one of the best DPS in my opinion. Like, if you have really good aim with projectile characters, you should definitely main Bucky, because Jesus Christ, the amount of damage this man does. Alright, so to start it off, it's not a damaging move, it's more of a really get over here. So basically, it's a hook. Unfortunately, you cannot use it as a grappling hook to get to higher places, but if you could, that would be cool. It's a really good gap closer, however, it is a projectile and you have to plan how to use it because it will not hit your enemy immediately. It will take time to travel to them. So if they're a character with a movement ability, kind of like Rocket or Spider-Man, then it'll really be hard to hit. Also, fun fact, it can cancel a lot of ults in the game. Unfortunately, it cannot cancel Magneto's ult, so you will still be getting hit with a meteor in your face. But one of my favorite things to do with it is canceling Spider-Man's ult. Fun fact, you can do that. And also, if there are any other Bucky mains out there that are looking for tips, you can hook, what's their name? Cloak and Dagger. You can hook Cloak and Dagger out of their ult and kill them while they're out of their ult and make their ult disappear. And that's like really huge for your team. I've done it like 5 times successfully, but you know, the Cloak and Daggers in my games are kind of smart. Well, not necessarily smart, they're just not a 5-year-old. So I guess if you're stuck in gold, then start doing that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, moving on, we have his shift ability. It's like a punch into an uppercut, which what I find cool about it is it has 2 different damaging parts. The punch does its own set of damage, and then if you somehow manage to miss the uppercut, then it won't do the damage. I don't know how they plan on you missing the uppercut, but most of the time you won't anyway. So if you hit both the punch and the uppercut, that does like 50 damage or something like that. I don't fucking know, something like that. I've kind of stopped using it for damage and more using it for kidnap, because you can combo it with the hook. You can hook them into your backline and then you can like punch them back into your backline. So if your DPS are on the same timing as you, then they can shoot at that guy and yeah, he'll die. It's like really useful for big tanks like Groot or Magneto, and for other tanks that don't have like movement abilities. It's kind of bad for Thor, but Thor is a big target with a big head, so you can just pop him in the head and he'll die if his not DPS, if his healers aren't alive. Then we're moving on to the bread and butter of this absolute Chad's kit, his ultimate. Okay, so Bucky's ultimate is it takes you up in the air. Really bad to use in like close spaces, and by the way, because it'll hit roofs, it'll hit like other objects like that, it'll like break it, but you'll miss it because it hit the outside of the object and not the character. You're supposed to hit the character directly with it. Anyways, what the ult is, it is tentacles and it will touch you. That sounds really horrible. Anyways, once they touch you or hit you or slam you, or whatever words you want to use, it will obviously do damage. And what it'll do is give you a little red bar in your health bar, and if your health goes below that red bar, you die. And when you die, the fun part about Bucky is he gets his ult again and again and again and again. I'm sorry, I just really like his ult. Anyways, Bucky has team wiping capabilities if he doesn't get support ulted, which is something you can use your ult to do if you want to like have no use for it, I guess. But if you don't get support ulted, then yes, you have team wiping capabilities, especially if your team is like actually coordinated. I remember the only one time my team was coordinated with me and they said, get that kill for Bucky. I don't think I've ever I'm sorry, I just really love that my teammate did that for me. I don't think it's ever happened for me ever again. Anyways, long story short, if your aim is good enough, this man is basically an unstoppable freight train. Like, even if he's not shooting at your tank or kidnapping your tank and he can kill your supports in your backline, you can't really do anything because you're not getting healed anymore. So yeah, Bucky is one of the best DPS in the game. And I swear I'm not putting him in S because I have a bias. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. I know it's short, but it's my first video and I don't want to do a lot of editing, so peace.